Hello. Okay. Well, after this little lecture, I don't know. One of the problems that I run into a lot is that like Sister Aloysius is really like closed off, and like she has like this wall so that you can't like if she were a real person, you probably would never know what she was really thinking. You know what I mean? But like, from an actor's perspective, you have to show that that's what she's trying to do, but you have to let the audience know what she is thinking, kind of. Because like, if I were to play it like as if she was completely real and it was totally representational, and I went out there and was like composed and had this wall up, and the whole time it would be like, this is so boring. Why are you such a like robot? So I think that the psychological gestures will help with that, I guess, because it allows you to explore internally first, kind of. Like, I mean, use it, which is interesting because like you use like the physical, external stuff to evoke certain internal like emotions and stuff, which I think is cool. I think that I'll probably use a PG for like at the beginning of the show to like get into character, and probably before the Sister Aloysius and Father Flynn scene. So I feel like I'll have like one for getting into like the kind of composed, serious woman who's like kind of sure of herself, or like I don't know what I've decided yet, or like however she is at the beginning, because I feel like the scene with Father Flynn is like a heightened version of that. Like it's like really intense, and like everything's kind of like boiling over, and I mean that part's so important that I don't want it to be weak. It has to be like really, really strong.
And it's also like, I was thinking about it, and think about like a nun having a breakdown. Like, oh my god, they have been like quiet their entire life, and all of a sudden they're just like, ah! And everyone's like, shit.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. But then also I think that I might have to use a different one for the end, because I mean after the conversation with him and after he leaves, like she starts like second guessing herself, which is unlike her at the beginning. So she goes through that change, and I don't think that I could use the same psychological gesture for both, because like she's all of a sudden not guarded, and like she's like kind of confiding in Sister James about like her doubts. Talk about it again, I forget.
Tempo, polarity.
Oh yeah, the polarity thing is cool, which is kind of what I just said actually, that it changes. But the tempo I think is really important, because if we speak at the same tempo the whole time, it'll get really boring. Especially because, you know, like in situations where there's high tension, like, and though she is composed, like I need to be able to show that like she's not maybe trying to suppress like speaking fast or like moving frantically or something. So.
And I mean, it can be as simple as in a moment where Aloysius is internally having like an emotional breakdown, she would speak 10 times faster.
Yeah.
And then check herself, and then maybe her voice would break as she moved back into speaking slow. You know, like. Yeah. Just those little changes will show people that like internally Aloysius is going through more than like what she can show.
Yeah.
And I mean also those moments where I'm not in the room, or when Father Flynn isn't in the room, is Aloysius the same person, or does her face just turn to stone like at all times?
Yeah. That's a good idea. I think you're getting a phone call.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Trevor had English, so I called him.
Well, anyways, and I think that the atmosphere is really important, because I think that if we're not all on the same page with each other, it'll get really messy, and everyone will be like, they're not collaborating. Like, I think you talked about doing our psychological gestures together, which I think is important, because like on one hand you want to do them by yourself to like get into your mood, and like it's like a personal thing, but like if you're going to interact with other people, like you need to be able to be someone else with them. like, one of the things that, when we went through the run-through, like, when Trevor is Father Flynn, I'm so, like, as Alyssa, I'm so incredibly scared of him. And Aloysius isn't, or shouldn't be. So, like, I need to be able to not feel that when he's like, I don't like the way you handled this. Like, me as a person is like, I'm sorry, like, give me hugs, please, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, she's not like that. I mean, clearly. I'm so sorry. This is